For 30 years, the town of Briarwood, Ohio lived like nothing had ever gone wrong. It was the kind of town people trusted. Quiet streets, white fences, children laughing on their way to school. Every morning, yellow buses stopped in front of a red brick building that parents believed was safe. Briarwood Elementary School. No one talked about what happened there in 1994, not because they forgot, but because remembering felt dangerous. The school stood in the center of town, older than most of the houses around it. Built in the 1950s, its walls had absorbed decades of voices, footsteps, and secrets. Teachers used to say the building settled at night, that pipes knocked and floors creaked. But janitors knew better. The sounds didn't come from the walls. They came from underneath. The basement of Briarwood Elementary was never meant for children. Officially, it held boilers, old desks, and cleaning supplies. Unofficially, it had corridors that didn't appear on any blueprint. Narrow hallways that bent at wrong angles. Doors without labels. Rooms without windows. Rooms that locked from the outside. On the morning of October 17, 1994, attendance was taken like any other day. 312 students were present. Among them was 7-year-old Emily Carter. Emily was quiet. She rarely raised her hand. She spent most of her time drawing pictures, long hallways, dark rooms, and stick figures standing very still. Her teacher once asked where she got the ideas. Emily said, "I dream about them." At 12:40 p.m., students went out for lunch recess. At 1:05 p.m., they came back inside. Emily did not. At first, no one worried. Children wandered off all the time. Bathroom breaks, nurse visits, the library. But when 20 minutes passed, then 40, then an hour, something shifted in the air. The principal called for a lockdown. Classroom doors closed. Phones rang. Teachers checked closets, bathrooms, and supply rooms. Police arrived. Dogs were brought in. Parents gathered outside, watching officers move in and out of the building with growing fear. The dogs found a scent. It led to the basement stairwell. When the door was opened, the dogs stopped. One whimpered and refused to go down. Another pulled backward, nails scraping against the floor. Officers descended the steps. The basement lights flickered, buzzing softly. The air smelled damp, metallic. And somewhere beyond the boiler room, there was a sound. Tap, 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 slow, rhythmic, like fingernails touching concrete. Behind a stack of old shelves, officers found a steel door. It blended into the wall, painted the same dull color. It was not on any school blueprint. It was locked. When they forced it open, the room inside was empty, small, windowless, concrete walls, no furniture. But the walls were covered in drawings, stick figures, children holding hands, a tall black shape looming above them, and words written again and again in crayon, uneven and shaky. "He makes us stay. He doesn't like noise. We have to be quiet." There was no sign of Emily, but there were handprints in the dust, more than one. The official story came quickly. Emily Carter had wandered off school grounds. There was no evidence of foul play. The basement room was dismissed as an old storage area. The drawings were blamed on children from previous years. The case went cold. But things changed inside the school. 3 teachers resigned within days. 1 janitor never returned. The school counselor checked himself into a psychiatric hospital after telling a colleague that Emily wasn't the first child to disappear. "She was just the first one they noticed," he said. In 1995, Briarwood Elementary closed for renovations. The renovations never happened. The building sat abandoned for years, windows boarded, playground rusting. Teenagers dared each other to break in at night. Those who did came back pale, shaking, swearing they heard whispers echoing through the halls. Some said the intercom turned on by itself. Some said they heard children counting softly. Almost all of them said the same thing. The basement was not empty. In early 2024, the town council announced Briarwood Elementary would reopen. Records had been lost. Complaints were labeled rumors. The building was repainted, rewired, and reopened with new staff. The basement was left untouched. During the first week, teachers reported strange things. Chalk writing erased itself. Doors unlocked on their own. Footsteps echoed after hours. Every night at exactly 3:17 a.m., the security system detected movement in the basement. Always the same corridor. Always the same room. A night watchman was hired. His name was Caleb Moore, former military, calm, practical, not easily shaken. On his fifth night, he radioed dispatch. "There are kids in the building." Security cameras showed empty halls. Caleb insisted he could hear them, breathing behind the walls, soft voices whispering numbers. When police arrived, they found him standing in front of the steel basement door. The door frame was scratched from the inside. Caleb quit the next day. Before leaving, he wrote one sentence in the guard log. "It's not a ghost. It's something that learned how to hide." 2 weeks later, a teacher stayed late grading papers. At 6:43 p.m., the intercom activated. A child's voice spoke, clear, terrified. "Please tell him we were quiet." The audio system recorded everything. When the recording was analyzed, investigators noticed something chilling. The voice wasn't alone. Multiple children were speaking at once, and beneath them was another voice, low, calm, teaching them how to whisper. Old archives were finally uncovered. In 1962, Briarwood Elementary employed a man named Harold Whitcomb. Officially, he was a maintenance supervisor. Unofficially, parents complained about him constantly. Children said he punished them in quiet rooms. Students transferred suddenly. Reports were filed, then closed. Whitcomb was declared dead in 1971. His body was never found. On May 3, 2024, during school hours, every classroom door slammed shut at the same time. The intercom turned on. "Quiet time," a voice said calmly. Students screamed, teachers cried, the basement door unlocked itself. Security footage later showed shadows moving along the walls. Small ones, child-sized, and one much taller. When police arrived, the school was silent. Inside the basement room, written in fresh chalk, were the words, "We kept the secret." Now you know. Briarwood Elementary is closed again. Emily Carter was never found. But late at night, when the town is quiet, some people swear they hear a school bell ring, not loud, just enough to remind them. Some secrets don't disappear. They wait quietly for 30 years.